It's only fitting that the inaugural Larry Bird Trophy for the Eastern Conference Finals MVP, it went to a Celtic, and I love some good symmetry there. But was Jayson Tatum your choice? Zach, Captain Casual, I will start with you.
I wasn't a voter, but yeah, I think I would have voted for Jayson Tatum because he was the best player on the Celtics. Ultimately, Jimmy Butler at his best was the most dominant player in the series, but he was invisible for 3 of 7 games, ended up averaging about the same amount of points as Tatum, almost exactly the same. It's just hard to vote a player the MVP of a 7-game series when for almost half of it, for good reason, he was injured, he was clearly not himself, he was MIA. So I respect Tim Bontemps voting for Jimmy Butler. I think that's a gutsy vote, and it's not wrong, but I would have gone with Tatum.
Kendrick?
No, I'm right there with you. I would have gone with Tatum. But look, I wouldn't have been mad if Jimmy Butler would have won for the simple fact he wasn't just the most dominant player in this series. He was the best player in this series. And I'm just going back to one game and one game only. Game 6. That was an epic performance. When you talk about wearing the Miami Heat jersey and get compared to a guy like LeBron James, putting on that type of performance in a hostile environment. Matter of fact, add him into the Michael Jordan conversation. The only 2 guys in playoff histories to have over 40 points and 4 steals. Like Jimmy Butler, the way that he carried this team with really absolutely no consistent help was a beautiful thing to see. And the fact that he was able to get a 41 piece in this series, 47 and a 35. We're talking about a Celtic defense that is arguably one of the best defensive teams that we've seen in NBA history in the postseason.
Yeah, and to almost be one shot away from making some real noise and getting to the finals. And I feel like when you have, this is what really hurts me, because when you're getting those comparisons of like the LeBron, Miami Heat comparison.
Up for that
I did. I still,
okay.
Of course, season, but I still got it like that.
Mm-hmm.
When you're getting those types of comparisons, yes, you've done something amazing. But for me, I know you're supposed to put this in the context of exactly this round, right? This Eastern Conference Finals. But I just look at Jayson Tatum overall. He's doing exactly what you asked. A lot of people the past few years have said his game is growing, but does it help the team? Well, his team won, and they won consistently. If you look at who they, took down, obviously the Heat in 7, the Bucks in 7. I know there are some minuses here on players that were not available. The Nets, KD, Kyrie. He got the win versus those guys that were available, and those guys are studs and stars. And so I like his development of his game where he's learning how to make winning plays on both ends, and his team won. So I am not mad at this. I feel like I wish, shout out to Victor Solomon, you could like sort of rip it in two and be like, hey guys, like both of y'all get bling.
Of course.
But we all know I'm perfectly comfortable based on the overall 1 through 7 versus maybe the last 6 or 7 where a lot of people saw Jimmy do his thing.
Yeah, and look, the reason why they're here is because Jayson Tatum has played enough like a superstar. It hasn't been for all 7 games of every series. It hasn't been throughout this entire postseason. But the definition of a superstar is when you need him most, he shows up. That's it. There is no other definition that you can, when you need your superstar most, does he show up? Now, in my opinion, Jayson Tatum has been the best player in the Eastern Conference for this postseason, but Jimmy Buckets, we know he was having a special performance. I still look at Jayson Tatum having more support, which allowed him to go do what he needed to do. But that's it. That's the postseason. We can't do all the breaking down. He was the stud. He deserved it. But Jimmy, if there was ever a person to get a heck of a second place, it would be him.
Man, our colleague Tim Bontemps, he was the only one who voted for Jimmy Butler. So you're looking down the list, Tatum, one Butler.
I'm not mad about it.
I'm not mad about it. I respect that. I am not mad about that. If he would have won, I mean, I would have been totally okay.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.